Two.
Hello, friends. Welcome to Work It Wednesday, our favorite night of the week where you're going to join us. And we have some exciting things for you tonight. So thank you for giving up your time to come and see us. Renee is going to kick us off with what's news in the news tab.
Hey, let's start with the boring stuff. There are still some spots in some of the world tours. I guess it's not boring, but
Say,
um,
boring.
well, compared to where we're going to end up, it's boring. But yes, I think the closest one to all of us in Indiana that's not sold out would be the Michigan one. Um, but if you're not registered, there still are walk-in spots at some of the places. And then we had a story about price changes for the catalog, and the only thing that was in there was the car bars, and yeah,
Travel twist.
Travel Twist being discontinued. But we also know that the Pick 3 Clean is gone. And what was the other one? Because I didn't write it down because these were in the news tab this time.
What did you say for last?
The Pick 3 Clean are gone.
Oh, yeah. So all your bundles and saves are pretty much going to a flat rate
Yeah.
10% off. So like your bundle systems, your Scentsy systems, all of those, instead of having like this price point warmer with this price point
Right. But there
R,
was,
if you
oh,
buy them, it'll be a flat rate of 10% off, which is magical because there's no more remembering what those breakdowns are.
right. But the Pick 3 Clean is completely gone. And so is the Pick 3 Laundry.
Laundry, okay.
Yes, they're completely gone, not even under the 10%.
Okay.
And then, of course, our exciting news that there is a warehouse flash sale, January sale, whatever you want to call it, tomorrow. The time is different. It is 11 o'clock Eastern. So, Dylan, be 10 o'clock in the morning for you. I don't know where everybody else is. So, um, post, put it in your stories, email, message one-on-one. Utilize your Scentsy Connect for that. Text everybody. Email. What did I forget? Oh, create events inside your VIP group. I went back to old parties and created events, and just invite everybody. And just once it is up and going and you see what's on it, find in real life pictures, post them, and just keep sharing and sharing and sharing until it's over. And did I miss anything, Cab? Email, phone, or text, post, events?
Yeah, touch points are your biggest thing that you can do when these flash sales happen. And I know it may seem like coming on a little extra, but you want to be extra. You want to be talking to your customers because that's the only way you're going to get sales. A lot of times, especially if you don't do it early enough, then they'll miss it. Things will sell out. But set that expectations with customers. Let them know about the queuing system that we're going to have, that it does take 15 minutes plus once you're in the queue. So let them know how that works. Have them get on your website about 4 minutes till. That seems to be the magic number of when the queue happens. Multiple devices, if you have it, have them make sure that they're pre-logged into their website, like their account inside your website with their credit card saved, if they're okay with having that done. Any second that you can shave off of them ordering will matter. And if you've been here and you've been through this flash sale, then you understand the importance of that. Make sure they know that once something is in your cart, that does not mean that it's locked in. You can still lose it. And then anything that they want that's not from the sale ahead of time, have them go ahead and preload that into their shopping cart. That way, when they check out, they're only checking out from the flash sale items and ready to go. And then educate them on what party. So if you're posting for an incentive, if you're doing a promotion, if you're doing a giveaway, whatever it is, let them know what party to check that to, because if they don't put it into a party, then you're not going to get rewards for it. So the better you can set that expectation with your customers, the more success you're going to have with it. And then also let them know that shipping can take up to 21 days to get. So this will save you so much heartache if you set that precedence with your customers at the beginning and they understand that it's just going to take a while to get their order. They won't be asking you in 8 to 10 days when they typically would have it. Where is it at? I mean, they may ask, but you've set that up. So little tidbits there. Dylan is sharing what he is sending for his project broadcast, it looks like, for tomorrow. So it's got a countdown. Tonight, like Renee said, I created events inside my party. The beauty of why I love Facebook events inside your groups is that you can create the event and then you can invite all of your customers. So it's going to send them all a push notification. It's also going to notify them right before the sale and then right before it ends. So Facebook is doing a little bit of the push notifications for you to your customers, but that's not all I'm going to do. I'm going to post multiple times in my group. And then here's an important thing. After you get through, you get your stuff, start highlighting in real life pictures of products that are available in the sale. Just set that expectation. I don't know how long this will last. But just start blowing up your feeds with all those products that are available and drag that interest. Do a screen recording, post it in your stories because it's so funny. People will shop sometimes from that screen recording that they see something rather than click a link and be able to go and look at it. So the more active you can put that product in front of their faces, the better chances you're going to have to get a sale. And then if you're available tomorrow while the sale's happening, just go, 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 post, 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 text, 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 email, email, email. Like you cannot overdo it tomorrow on a flash sale. And I promise it will be very rewarding. You will get orders if you put in the work tonight, tomorrow morning, as you get ready for that sale to kick off.
I've gotten numerous sales from posting the pictures after we know what's in it.
Yep.
So yeah.
This is when having that master list, we talk about this all the time, but the customer want list, maybe a warmer that has went back into the vault or not been available for a while, or a wax bar that happens to come up in a 10 bar bundle. I have seen so many times someone buy a 10 bar bundle just because it has one scent in there that they absolutely love. So be taking notes from your customers and then going back to it when we have different sales like this and be very beneficial.
Yes. And that was all for the news tab.
Perfect. Little mini training in there. All right, Dylan's gonna kick us off.
Hi, friends. If I start coughing or dying, just ignore me. I'm fine. I'll be okay after a few minutes. But I wanted to share two things. Well, three things, I guess. One I already shared in the chat, which Tab said is I like to share it because it's what I use for Project Broadcast. So the first one I send 1 hour prior to the flash sale, just a text about here's a few tips, and it was the exact tips that Tab just basically went over. So I share that with them, and then 5 minutes before I send a text out, which has the actual link, and then it says if you are shopping during the sale, use this party link, and it shows what the current party link is at the time. So it's always a good reminder, kind of send those texts so that way they're thinking about it throughout the day. And then I'll send one right after, like an hour into the sale that says like, were you able to get in? Did you find anything? Is there anything that I can get for you? So those are kind of like some tips that have really worked for over the years for me. I used to not do so many text, and I used to be so nervous about sending text because I felt like I was bothering them. And now I've realized the more text I send, the more they think about it and the more they shop. So honestly, on flash sales, I don't feel guilty. I used to ask everyone if they wanted to be a part of the text club for flash sales, then to let me know. But now I tell everyone. I don't care. It's just one text message. We get 500 from Target every single month, and so I send it anyways. So don't ask permission if somebody wants to leave your group. That's up to them. But share it as many places as you can. And then the other thing I wanted to share is one thing that Tab talked about was the email. If you have never used the workstation email, I wanted to show you how simple it is. Tiffany walked us through this, me and Tab through this like 4 weeks ago, last flash sale maybe. Yeah, I think it was last flash sale. And she was like, this is how I'm emailing my team. And she like did it in like 2 seconds when we were like, wow, was that Tiffany or was that you, Tab?
That was
Yeah,
you.
it was Tiffany. I don't know. Somebody, I want to give credit
It
where it's
was
due.
Tabitha who was walking me, and she
You
forced
threw it.
me how to do it.
Okay. I was like,
No,
somebody.
You said, was it you, Tiffany? I was like, yeah, I was the one that she did that to.
I was the one who needed help.
And I was like, okay, whatever. I don't care.
whoever it was, but they were like, do it, it's so easy. So I wanted to show you guys just how easy it is because it's so simple. So if you've never used it, what I did here is I went into contacts and then went to emails. Actually, I think I went to, okay, well, that's fine too. So contacts, emails, and then there's a little plus email here. You click that, communication email, and then you can just use blank. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant. And then your two over here, there's a little plus button, and you click all customers. And so now I'm about to send an email to 229 customers that allows me to just tell them all about the sale. And what I would do if I was you and you only have a few hours until it starts tomorrow, copy the text that I sent you, throw it in there real quick. Like, here's a few tips for our sale, send a little picture of yourself with it, and then send the email. It's super easy. I overestimated how easy it was, so I never used it. But if you need something just starting out, just to get something out tomorrow, and you've never had an email, like a different email company that you've used, or you've never sent an email through the workstation, I highly, highly encourage it just because it's seriously that easy. Like, you would just add your text and then preview and send. Super easy. The thing that I was actually asked about, all that other stuff was just extra fluff. But the thing that I was actually asked about is Melissa asked me in Canva how you add a photo. So a lot of us are adding our own photo. We talked about this last week. Um, you want to be authentically you when you're posting. You don't just want to post a flyer. I mean, the flyers that Scentsy is releasing right now is really, really cute. So you can post those. But if you ever want to make something your own, what we are doing, what most leaders are doing, what you're seeing right now is we're just adding a picture of us onto the flyer. So everybody see this cute picture of me. That's also me today when I was sick, so let's
Adorable.
not judge it. Um,
Not fair. You just make graphics so stinking
Oh.
cute.
I know, right?
But that's me. And so what we're gonna do is when you have the photo here, you're gonna take like a cute little photo of you pointing to something. Obviously here I'm not pointing to anything, but I'm pretending to. And then you're gonna go up here. This is only the pro version of Canva. I do want to say that it's the pro version, but it's worth it because you can go here to background remover, click that, and the background is gone. So pretty.
Also, if you have an iPhone, this is now just a feature with iPhone. Take a picture, hold on to,
Yeah.
and you can separate.
Yeah, if you take a photo, you can hold on to the area that you want to save and then save it. Yeah, that's an option too. So you could always save it that way and then
This
go
is
into
so
Canva and
cute.
throw it on there. So that's an option. But that's literally how we're doing it. It's nothing complex. It looks harder than it really is, but we're just removing the background from a cute photo and then adding it on there. But I wanted to share that with you guys. So that way, if you're making a cute flyer for your VIP group or your page or anything like that, then you have the availability to do so.
We should all take a moment to quickly just bask in the perfection that was Dylan's head and finger perfectly
I
fitting.
know.
I know.
Like, did you guys all catch that? That was literally a perfect placement.
So this is something that I love to do whenever like I'm on vacation or I'm like, oh, I feel cute today. I will take random pictures of going like this or going like this or this or this or whatever. And or like take a picture with a $20 bill or take a random picture with a whiff box, like any of those opportunities where you're feeling cute and you have a few seconds, just take those, save them in your favorites, and then this is when those are going to come in handy. But you will always be thankful to have that, or holding an empty bag. That's my go-to, holding an empty bag, whatever the theme mystery bag I'm doing or something fun, I will post the graphic on that mystery bag that I'm holding. So just a fun little tip.
I love that.
Is that all you got, Dylan? You're done. Peace out. Okay.
Yeah, I'm out. That was as
He's
much
like,
as I could give.
there was no end. It
I
was
was
just
holding in a
done.
cough the whole time. I'm done.
He's
Okay,
gonna
perfect.
nap now.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so as most of you know, I was gone at leadership last week. It was absolutely incredible. Obviously, there was some big changes that came about last week. I hope you guys all have a good understanding of that. If you've not caught the replay that Dan had over the changes we're having, why we're having them, please watch it. It will bring a lot of explanation to the reasons. And I'm just going to kind of highlight leadership with you guys. This trip is probably my favorite trip that I've ever been on, Scentsy related. And that is a huge thing for me to say because I've had some incredible experiences already. But everybody told me leadership's just different, and I didn't really understand. It's kind of like when we tell you SFR is just different, okay? But like leadership is even different than that because it's so intimate. Let me just tell you about my Wednesday, okay? My last Wednesday was the most incredible day. I can't even tell you everything that happened. Like, so we had Wednesday morning, we had a I'm not going to remember exactly, but I believe Wednesday morning was when we had 8 consultant speakers that were chosen to go up and speak. And we're talking like 8 dominant, kick butt in the industry, like very resourceful people to hear from. So they went up, they told us tips about how they're working their businesses, the ins and outs and stuff like that. And then we had lunch with Deb Bowden. So there was 8 of us that had lunch with her, which was phenomenal. If you don't know who Deb is, listen to her every time she speaks. She literally just got her doctorate in education. This woman is so intelligent. She just brightens every room that she's in. I would rather listen to her than most keynote speakers just because she has so much to offer. So I got to be one of 8 at lunch with her, which was phenomenal. Get done with lunch, go down to the pool with a couple other girls that we knew, and there's Dan Orchard, our president and CEO, just sitting at the pool with 8 people, and I got to be one of them. So we just sat there and we literally got to ask him every question. He asked us about incentive trips. We talked about Scentsy Club, what we would like to see from it. We talked about the use of catalogs, like just any idea that you ever had in your brain, like literally got to sit there and ask for a reason why. And then after that, we went back and we had roundtables with SSDs. No, we had the consultants that talked that morning. We got to go and sit at tables with them and elaborate more on their talks. And it was really cool. One of the girls, Jacqueline Roy, what she does for her like to hand out to other potential recruits or whatnot, she takes a pack of Tic Tacs and then she says it has a note on there. It says you were meant to join my team, and that's what she hands out instead of like scent circles and stuff like that. So I ordered my Tic Tacs. They're in my mailbox. I was too lazy to go get them today, or I would show them to you. And then I already made up my label, but I'm gonna start putting those in my catalog packs because I normally send candy anyways. But that's a fun thing that people will put in their purse. They'll use them. They'll keep seeing them every time they eat those Tic Tacs. So I love that that was a touch point that she did. Some people were doing it with gum. But that was just one little takeaway that I took away from her, which I'd seen in a previous training she did, but I'd never implemented it. So that's definitely something that I'm implementing from my business this time. And just a lot about getting into the brain of other leaders and what they are doing in their businesses. And, because that's a big thing for me. I always want to be a better leader and provide better tools for you guys. And, it's sometimes feels like I'm out here doing this blind because it's not like, we've all went for formal training and have all the ins and the outs. It's just kind of doing what we feel is best and hoping that it's beneficial for you guys. So it was just very rewarding for me to sit with other just rock star leaders and be able to pick their brains and ask them with things that I might struggle with coming up the answer to when you guys ask us, stuff like that. So that roundtable was really cool. Again, very intimate. And then we got done with that, and then we went to dinner, and we're on our way back from dinner, and I was talking to one of the other ladies, and she said, you're really quiet at dinner. And I was like, I'm just, taking it all in. Today has been just like there's so much stuff that's happened. And then we run into Heidi Norval, which are the owner of Scentsy. And I had literally was on the phone with Dylan because I was trying to get the recording for the team. So if you logged on early last Wednesday, you actually got to see Heidi Norval because they actually got on the Zoom and said hi to you guys. So that was way cool. And then I got my picture with them, and just if that wasn't good enough, Orville then pulls us to the side, just three of us, and literally sat there and talked to him for an hour and a half. And it was so cool because it was very impromptu. But just he was telling us about ideas for products that he had and the future of Scentsy and the ins and the outs. And it was just like, this is so stinking cool. Like, I can't even believe that this is happening. So Wednesday was an absolute incredible day. But I wanted to share with you guys some of the things that Heidi and Orwell said about all the changes and why it's happening. And one of the girls that I actually got to spend a lot of time with. So my roommate was a girl that I met at boot camp. So once you become a director, you can go to boot camp, which I highly, highly, highly recommend. It's an incredible experience. Tiffany can vouch for that because she's been. And I was a part of a very small, intimate 26. Typically, there's like 70 to 80 people. There was only 26 my year that I went. So we're all really close. So I actually roomed at leadership with one of the girls that I met there. And her SSD is consultant number 170. She joined in 2005. She's got this massive group, like over 18,000 people. Chloe Cox is actually in her downline. So I was picking her brain about everything and anything. I was like, okay, tell me this, tell me that. And it was just really cool just to go back and forth with her. But she typed up these incredible notes. Like, so I actually hopped on her team Zoom Sunday because she did the overview of leadership. And I was like, oh, can you let outsiders in? And so she let me in there. And then I was like, how are your notes so good? Like, I felt like I was listening to Heidi and Orville talk again. Like, she did so good, but she brought her laptop and typed it. And I was like, I'm over here trying to like chicken scratch, write everything down, and it was not going well. So it's just, I'm going to read some of this to you guys. They went over, has anybody seen the Boys of 36 documentary? This was a lot of the coverage that we had for the event. And it is, I'm pretty sure that's the one where, so it's, I don't know what it is. It's an Olympic sport, but it's like where 8 people are in the canoe and then they're rowing. I don't know what those people are called. But it was talking about the US team and how they were kind of like the underdogs, and they were preparing, and they had this vision, and they really wanted to win. They all had to be on the same page. And when we were sitting there talking to Orville, he said, you know, and this is more of a leadership standpoint. So for those of you that are leaders, this is where this is coming from. Everybody on our team is so important, even if they are only people that get active once a year. That's why they didn't take it down to you have to be active again once every 4 months. They left it people for the 12 months because every person plays a key membership in being on your team. So in this US team, as they're preparing to go on this big battle and they're trying to win, who they surround themselves with matters, okay? But you have to have the foundation of your team, the 8 that are in your boat, the 8 that are rowing the direction, the pace, they're setting the course for the traffic that you're going to be on. So the 8 people you surround your boat or have your boat in, but then you want everybody around you that's all a part of your team. So everybody plays a part in their journey, but they're all on maybe different levels. So we never want to discredit anybody that's a part of our team because everybody is important. But they really just wanted to express to us that Scentsy is so financially stable. So a lot of the decisions you're seeing out there in the network marketing world and MLMs is they are making reactive decisions because they're cash poor and they've not made good decisions. And so they're having to go to affiliate only and drop their leadership programs, or they're having to, you know, raise product prices, and they're failing. And that was the very first thing they said to us is Scentsy is in the black. We are not cash poor. We choose to have debt. And they said, we know that sounds silly, but the only debt we have is a line of credit that could be paid off at any time. So know that we are fine, but we're doing all of these decisions to be proactive on what Scentssy's future is going to be, so we never have to be in the situation where those other companies find themselves right now. So they said that they were financially stable. Our debt is optional. Hope is the field's fuel. By the end of this week, we'll have a clear path for hope. Our entire company is in need of this. We all need to feel it. Scentsy is poised to shock the world again. If others fail, so be it. We will show them how it's supposed to be done. No one can out Scentsy. Heidi then was talking about urgency. And then about the scene in this movie they showed us a clip from. And it was these leaders were like whipping the people in the boat and like being very harsh. And then she says, how did that make you feel? She said, I was terrified. Some people were scared. Some people, were like, this is awful. The sense of urgency is what whips us, and the power of dictation had no joy. Pay attention to the urgency in the Washington crew versus the Ben-Hur boat crew. So then the Washington crew, they were met with respect. They were met with love, kindness, but all had the same goals. They all wanted to win, but they were showing us the difference between how you treat your team by just only reaching out to them when you want them to hit specific goals and you're harsh and you talk down to them. They talk about when you reach out to your team because you care about them and the health of their team and you want to see them grow. So they showed us a visual between the two. And it was crazy the difference. Swing comes when you have harmony, one heart beating as one. Boys in the boat didn't have a leader. They all lead. Compete together. If you compete together, you win. Compete on your own, you would end up in a slave ship. And so it went back again to the two different boats. And it was so cool. Championship boat brings other along with you in the victory. Differences can be turned into advantages instead of disadvantages. It's all about being in unison together, all about swing from the phone quote, long arm versus short arm, comparisons to use what you have in search of a swing, which made you search lovingly ways to support. Challenges are easier to face and triumphs even sweeter with a team. And I want you guys to think about the community and the culture that we're creating and why. So I'm sure you guys were a part of some of those public Scentsy pages that got so nasty. And I hope you left those groups because that was not Scentsy spirit. That was not the community that you guys have all bought into and love and understand. And I know when you're not at these events and you don't get that feeling, I know that reading those might have started planting some seeds of doubts. So I hope if you had any of those inklings, you were able to separate that and leave that group, because there's a lot of haters in the world against MLM, honestly. And a lot of those pages are full of people like that are just waiting for bait. And it was really disgusting. And I'm not going to be one that's here to shove it down your throat with positive Polly and telling you your opinions don't matter, because they do. And I've had a lot of really good conversations with you guys since I've been back. There's been a few of you that reached out to me that maybe didn't quite understand why the change happened. And then we had a conversation about it. And then, they walked away from having their feelings validated, because I think that's the most important thing that we have to realize in this is you can question it. Absolutely. If you don't understand why something is happening, absolutely question it. You don't have to be blindness about it and be like, I don't really know why I'm supporting this, but everybody else is, so hoorah. It's not what I'm asking here. I want you to actually feel it, that you understand that Scentsy made all these choices and decisions for the health of the company and for the long term. That we are all a part of something that's so much different than any other organization that's out there. And the anti-MLMers, as soon as they got breath that there was ruckus or change, it is such, okay, 200 to 250, you're talking dollars in difference in pay. And people were acting like Scentsy just took thousands of dollars out of people's pockets. Like their perspective of it was very disheartening. Just remember, negativity breeds negativity all the time. Every single time. Positivity will breed positivity. So how do you want to go out into the world? How do you want to be seen? How do you want to be known? How do you want to create a culture as you start to build your own businesses and have your own teams? You already have a business. But if you start creating your bigger teams and maybe you leave us and have your own little community, like how do you want to create that? What do you want it to look like? How do you want it to feel? Do you want people to blind rage into those public groups and be the ones creating nasty videos? Or do you want them to be able to come to you? Because, we have a no complain policy inside of my group chat. If you have a problem, you're to come to one of your leaders or me and vent it to them one-on-one, because that's a safe place where we don't breed negativity. So set those expectations, set those tones for people to know that there is a proper channel to have those feelings and that your feelings are validated, but don't do it publicly. Okay, let me get back to my notes here. Collective resistance is the tide that lifts the Scentsy boat. Don't think that slows sales. Naysayers are not bad. They're just resistant. Think about the consultant who need a boat to join when their boat goes down. When slowing sales gives you time to build systems to make it better. So when the slowing selling, good Lord, selling slows, this is when you create your systems. This is when, because your business will only fall. What is that saying? To the weakness of your system, I think what it is. I think I wrote it down again. I don't know where it's at, but I think that's what it is. Think about the orphan customers. This was the best thing. Okay, there's more like 154,000 active consultants right now, like that have consultantships. I don't know what you call those, but they're actually not active. I don't want to say that, but they are within standing. They are a withstanding consultant. All right, 154,000. There's been at one time over 1 million. All right. So you look at that big picture and you might think, wow, that's really down. Or you can flip your perspective and be like, that's a lot of orphan customers. That's a lot of people that used to be within the company that are looking to rejoin under maybe a different leadership or looking for more guidance. And I was like, this is brilliant. I love when you just twist that little perspective from, wow, I can't believe there's only 154,000. Well, there's a lot of orphan customers out there. Every challenge is resistant, seamless alignment and desire to win, and we all win. This was the best quote that Orville said all week, all right? Needing to pee is no excuse to pee when others are swimming in the pool. Pee in the toilet. Everybody pees, but it doesn't mean you have to pee in the pool where everybody's at.
Yep.
So again, that talks about having that place you can go to complain or talk. You know, I was going to talk about pee tonight, did you? You have to teach your team where bad news goes. The Washington crew had an acronym to distract them from the negative or the ick. MIB, mind in boat. You have got to take back social media. Overwhelm post with factual, positive information. Help other consultants keep their mind in the boat. One team, one mentality, one desire to win. That is the momentum effort. Pull your own weight. All of these, that was not supposed to be there. Don't just say do. Teams watch what you do, not what you say. Model good behavior. When your time gets stressed or thin, find system to replicate success in downline. Who deserves my time and attention? Allow us to leverage small time and attention to innovations. When they accept the invitation, you're helping them grow independently so they won't need much time. It's time to get your teams dialed into Scentsy trainings. The seamless mentality, put your time into creating swing with home office, swing and rhythm. So instead of creating everything out on our own, we have to be plugging our teams into what Scentsy's already offering. And this is very much team-based. So if you're here and you're like, I'm just selling, you might change your mind one day, and this could still be helpful information. We won't have the full weight of the pull. We are surrounded by a team that has our back. No secret that sales have declined post-COVID. Scentsy is on a quest for renewal. We are preparing our next boat for our next race. We will be ready when the race comes. Growth, dip, renewal. It's the cycle. Happens all the time. Growth, dip, and renewal. There is no finish line. Choose to be all in. Keep your mind in boat. Work towards swing with the boat and crewmates. Will you have a seat on the boat? Will you be a part of the championship team? Will you help us get others in the boat to continue the Scentsy swing? Scentsy is a winning boat. When other boats falter, we will prove we can always be trusted to have a championship boat. You need others. Find swing with your family, team, customers, and Scentsy family. We may be behind a bit. We may not be in the favorable lane, but Scentsy is rowing for gold. It's a gut check. We all need to put our head down. Let's be the type of boat that people remember forever. And I wish I could deliver it to you in the way that they delivered it, because it was absolutely magical. But those were just notes from their talk. And Tiffany's like, I really think you need to share. So I hope that it was worth the share, but I really did come away with so much this last week. It really did help me just kind of realign my leadership vision on what I want to see for everybody this year, and just the growth. And I have to share that. So I tell you guys all the time, you have to do something scary, push yourself outside your limits. And so that's why I signed up to be a presenter for World Tour in Columbus, and I got chosen. And it would have been really easy for me to just like not ever tell anybody that I said yes or got chosen and not do it, because I'm absolutely scared, like poopless. Like, I don't want to do this, but I do want to do it. So I'm really just holding on to the fact that it's going to feel so rewarding after I get off that stage and I deliver, hopefully not an absolute poop show of a talk. But I also just traveled to Mexico by myself. I didn't go with anybody. I didn't know anybody except for my boot camp sister that I had met once. And we had texted here and there, not very much. And that was scary. But my 18-year-old niece was talking to me before I left, and she was getting ready to go to college orientation. And she looked at me and she said, I'm freaking out because I have to go to this college orientation weekend, and they stay the night. And she's like, I don't know anybody. She's like, but then I realized you're literally going out of the country by yourself. And then I realized that I can do this overnight thing. And like, it just hit me, because I tell you guys this all the time because I want you to grow and I want you to live outside your comfort zone and I want you to feel that rewarding. But like, there's so many people in my life, and I mentor a lot of kids, so they're seeing my growth with Scentsy, which is why I'm trying to really display more of the behind the scenes stuff, because I think it's important for them to see how I'm continuously pushing myself. But for her just to point that out to me, I was just like, wow, like you have no idea how that just made me feel that you just told me that. Like, man, you are watching. And I think sometimes we forget that. I think we get so stuck in the moment of what we do doesn't matter, or we're not doing enough, that we really forget to just give ourselves accolades for really doing those hard, scary things, and just showing up. So I know I was just like, I wanted to cry in that moment. Does anybody have any questions or need any clarification on anything? I have so many more notes, but I really felt like that was the most important thing to kind of share with you guys. We're really going to focus on hope and momentum and new customer acquisition, customer engagement, new consultant acquisition and new consultant engagement. So those are going to be our focus at World Tour. They're really going to help us finding those building blocks of momentums. It was kind of crazy because do you know 58% of consultants place orders? Only 58%. Once they become a consultant, only 58% of them place orders. And 42% don't. 42% of people that join don't place orders after they join. Only 25% of those numbers are active.
What?
Yeah. These statistics,
48% don't place an order?
yeah.
Dang,
Insane.
that is
Only
insane.
25% of those. So of the 58%, only 25% of those are active. Average ordering, this chart was really hard for me to put. So average ordering per consultant. See, I'm not going to be able to say this accurately, so we're just going to skip over this. But I want to tell you a thing about the party. So 70% of parties are consultant hosted parties. We are misusing the crap out of parties, and they harped us like crazy. They're like, host rewards were not created for consultants. You guys are supposed to be having party hosts. That's how you meet new customers. And 70% of y'all are only hosting parties for yourself. I was like,
Sometimes though too, we set it up as like we're the host, but it's more so it will ship to us, so then
Yeah.
we can like make it all like cute and
and they said as long as, so I guess there's a huge problem that people are bulk putting orders in and not putting them in under specific customers and having that order tracking. And that's the worst thing you can do because you don't have that appropriate follow-up.
That makes my blood boil.
Yeah.
If anybody on this call is doing that, we need to have a one-on-one. We cannot.
No.
We cannot. I will lose my mind. I had a person underneath me, very high title. I'm not going to disclose who it was because that's rude. But this is a very high up person. And one day we were talking about how she was behind on her follow-up because she had misplaced her notebook. And I was like, what does that mean? What do you mean? What follow-ups on your workstation? What is this notebook? Because everybody was bulk ordered under her name and she had that notebook. That was the only thing that told her who ordered what. I was like, listen, I'm freaking out for you right now. We gotta find this notebook and never do this again.
So if you are those person, we're not going to make you call yourself out, but going forward, every order, and we now have the most beautiful thing that if you do it under an individual order to have one
Yes.
shipping charge, we can now link our products to customers, and that is like the best thing to ever happen.
We can undo the damage you have done
Yes.
because it's worth it.
So they said we have to start leveraging our hosts with our rewards program and build genuine relationships. Use your customer data strategically. Good Lord. Great systems grow faster than great people. Ouch. That one stings. I'll just say that again. Great systems grow faster than great people. You can be the nicest person in the world, but if you don't have systems for your business, it's going to be rough going. Make success more repeatable. Change the direction, build the hope. And then we went into all of our changes that we were going to have, and I took 3 whole notes. And then there's nice news tabs now. I already read you that. Oh, some fun things at World Tour that I found out. So if you're not going to World Tour, I recommend finding a walk-in to go to because it's going to be so much fun. And I got to see the exclusive warmer, and she's cute. So one of the 8 consultant speakers that talked, actually, it was Colette. So I don't have a lot of time, but Heidi and Orville purchased the company back in 2004 from two sisters, a sister and sister-in-law that came up with the idea of Scentsy. And I actually got to sit and talk to Colette and hear the whole story of how the idea of Scentsy was born. And that's incredible. I'd love to share that, but I don't have time tonight. But she literally relaunches her business every catalog. She redoes her list of 100. And she has a very successful, I'm sorry, I should have started with that. Okay, but I forgot about it. All right. There was so much that happened. Like, I don't even know. But it's the fact that like she has a very successful business, but every 6 months she's going back to the basics of customers that she may have dropped off of. And that's something I've done since I've been home is I went through because I feel like I have a really good repeat customer retention rate, but I wanted to find all the people that I had lost. So I went through and I marked everybody on my spreadsheet and highlighted them if they have not ordered back from me. And then I'm going to really focus on a follow-up campaign to get them back as customers. So that's pretty cool. Customers don't want to feel like a dollar amount. So there's that. Build relationships with them. Nothing will trump follow-up. Posting and praying is not your business plan. How are you doing your follow-up? If you're doing it, how is your team going to? Take an honest look at your 2024. Was it working for you? That was Carla Hunter. She was awesome. So it is, and I had so many conversations with SSDs that were struggling in their business. And they're like, we stopped recruiting. So of course our team stopped recruiting. And so really take a deeper look into your business and are you doing things that as you're growing and building a team that you want them replicating and doing? You have to make their purchase memorable and wow your customer. Every customer is a gift. Are you building loyal customers? Go to your customer's world. How do your customers feel after an interaction with you? We are in a people and relationship business. We have to keep it fun. And then we were talking about finding new team members that I told you about the Tic Tac thing. She does the 50-10 rule, 50 samples a month, 10 join packets a month. Samples are a gateway to conversations. And then she asks for people to review her products. So every single month, she's at least giving out 50 of the Join My Teams and then 50 samples and 10 join packets. And then Jen Audette got up and talked, and she's just fantabulous. She says, in the bad times, we have to prepare for the bad, and in the bad, you have to prepare for the good. Where are you meeting new people? How can I inspire someone to join? Parties are just opportunities we find to share products we love. Oh, I actually came up with that. I was sitting there listening to her and I was like, oh, this is such a good saying. Parties are just opportunities we find to share products that we love. And I think if we start focusing more on that when we're trying to book parties, it will feel like less pressure. And then encourage you every time you sponsor, tell your team how you met them, how you sponsored, how you did it, because showing the way is the best way to train. So that's something I want to start doing is every single time I recruit someone, when I welcome them on the team page, I'm going to tell the story of how we met, how they joined. So you guys can start seeing that firsthand, and I would challenge you guys to start doing that as well. And then Tracy DeMario talked, and she was awesome. How to increase consultant activity. So just talking about like people on your team, how to get them involved, doing events. 5 out of every 100 see things on social media. So only 5 out of 100 see like post in your group and stuff. Create events in your team page for each location. This was about World Tour, which I thought was pretty cool. Ask leaders going to the location to be a leader at the event. So if you have somebody that's going to another location, so if I don't have someone that's local for me, I'll find someone that I can hook them up with there. Okay, it's 10 o'clock. Sorry. I don't want to keep you guys after, but Keller Shaw had a really good back to the basic. It's was called coach. C was culture. How do you want to run your group? O was organize. A was acknowledge people and care about them. C was challenges and commit. And H, help, honor, hustle, hope. You can't come to complain unless you have a resolution. Lead with love. So, I know, isn't that good? I'm
Mhm.
taking that to my daytime job.
Yeah.
You can't come to me to complain unless you have a resolution. All right, friends. Anybody have anything else before I end the recording?
No, but thank you so much for sharing, Tabitha. I really appreciate you going through that again.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was a lot. It was hard to recap to like really get that full, but hopefully it was you guys can see that at least a little tidbit of it because it was fantastic. All right, we will see you guys again next Wednesday. Have a good night.
Bye.